Biotechnology companies are increasingly diversifying to address emerging medical needs, moving beyond their traditional focus areas. Biotron Limited is making a major move into the global anaesthesia market through a strategic acquisition and capital raise. Joining me now to outline more is Michelle Miller from Biotron Limited. It's good to have you with me. Can you give us an overview of Biotron's acquisition and tell us that $2.5 million capital raise as well? You guys are busy.
Yes, well, thank you very much. Pleased to have an opportunity to talk on here today. So yes, earlier this week, Biotron announced the acquisition of Sedarex Limited. Sedarex is a very interesting asset for Biotron with a late-stage product for general anaesthesia, which is unusual in that it's a drug that's already been on market. So it's a very short path to market. And of course, in combination with that, $2.5 million capital raising in two parts with a placement of $1 million now and a rights issue under the same terms as the placement to be offered to shareholders after approval of the deal by our shareholders at the upcoming AGM.
Okay, so there's some potential opportunity here. What is SedRx though, and how does it represent a safer next generation anaesthetic? Take us through a little bit about what you're working on itself.
Yeah, well, the drug part of the anaesthetic has previously been approved and in a different iteration with a different formulation was one of the leading up to 50% of market share of anaesthetics in the UK in the 70s and 80s. Now it actually had some issues due to safety issues, which wasn't due to the drug, but it was due to how it was combined, the other bits that are combined with to make it so you can get it into a body. So now it's been reformulated with a really safe product added onto it, which has had FDA and European Medicines Authority approval. So we now have a combination that we have a global, SedRx has global patents over, with a drug is previously on market. We know it's safe combined with a formulation agent that's also known to be safe and approved by the international regulatory authorities. But why we're excited by this is that clinical trials have shown that it has advantages over the leading propofol, which is a general anaesthetic that most people would know. And the problem with some of the existing general anaesthetics is there's a risk of people get lower heart rates and respiration immediately afterwards, which is really problematic in terms of potential for heart attacks and whatever, and especially in an aging population. But more importantly is in an aging population, there's a risk of this post-operative neurocognitive decline. So people often come out of anaesthesia with confusion and all of that, and that can be really problematic. So trials have shown there's a significant improvement in that regard with this product.
Yeah, fantastic. How does the acquisition shift Biotron's strategy beyond antivirals? Take us through a little bit about the shift.
So, we still have as our core our antiviral portfolio, and, we're continuing to work to commercialise that, as well as advance our hepatitis B program. Now, Biotron's core expertise is actually clinical development of products, regulatory processes, connections into partners and whatever in the US. So it doesn't really matter what the underlying indication is. And in fact, Biotron has had in the past, other early stage programs in other indications. But this really opens up more near-term evaluating milestones for shareholders, which is, especially in combination with the capital raising, which means we can go quite quickly with this and will benefit shareholders by opening up, de-risking the portfolio and bringing some near-term opportunities, hopefully, in terms of revenue being generated from this product.
Okay, and of course making things a little bit easier on folks out there who need an anaesthetic as well. But what does this mean for investors in the upcoming company milestones, and where can people go to find out just a little bit more, Michelle?
Okay, so in terms of the milestones, we have over the next 12 months some key ones within Biotron with its antivirals, in particular with hepatitis B, which are looking at progressing that through to some formal tox studies and getting it ready for first in man. But the milestones around SedRx will be around regulatory and demonstrating efficacy in a brand new indication, which offers a lot of blue sky opportunity for investors. And in terms of additional information, we'd point you to Biotron's website, biotron.com.au, to our ASX releases on X with Biotron Limited, and myself, Michelle Miller, on LinkedIn, and I'm be very happy to provide additional information.
Wonderful stuff from you, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Good luck with it all. It's no mean feat to pull off what you're doing, so well done to you and the team.
Thank you.